Hello everyone, Alex here again to bring you another edition of Guild Wars Corner, and no, this is not Guild Wars. This is the reason that there was not a Guild Wars Corner that came out over the weekend or on Monday. Monday came around, I'm like, man, you know what, I haven't done a Guild Wars Corner since Wednesday, I gotta get on top of it. And then this game shows up. Alright, so I got this game working on Steam. Now, if you know this game, you had a wonderful life. You've had a wonderful childhood or whatever. If you don't know this game, you are missing out. This is the game Disciples 2, and it is a turn-based strategy game that was released quite a while ago, actually 2002, but because of its 2D nature, it is absolutely beautiful. And when I mean beautiful, it's not strictly the graphics, although we could say the graphics are still good, but the artwork is amazing. It looks like the whole game is being played on an oil painting, basically. And this is just one of those games where everything meshes perfectly. Like the story, the graphics, the artwork, the sound, the voice, the gameplay, the tactics. This is one of those games where it's just one more turn, and it's like, I started firing this up around about after I came home from work. He's like, just a turn or two, it's not gonna work. And holy crap, what is it, 12:30 at night all of a sudden? I'm like, on a work night, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta stop this thing. This is getting out of control. This game is a ton of fun. And what I'm thinking of doing is actually doing kind of a series of games and not doing a let's play, which is pretty long and pretty in-depth, but kind of doing a series of kind of reviews on games that I feel deserve special mention, games that I've played. And I think I'm even calling it, out of Guild Wars, called the Hall of Monuments. But for games, like the games I would put into a Hall of Monuments, and this would definitely be one of them. Disciples 2, The Dark Prophecy, or its expansion pack, The Rise of the Elves. And what I may do is, make a couple videos of Disciples 2 here and actually go in depth about that, about my experiences with the game, why it's still good, why it should be in your library. Again, all these are probably on Steam. I'm going to focus on PC games at first and kind of go from there and see how it goes. It's something I want to do because, again, while my focus has been on Guild Wars as of late, it's not the only game that I played, and it's not the only game I enjoy, and maybe broaden the horizon a little bit, which would be pretty neat. I think that would be a lot of fun. Now, moving on back to the game that we're here originally for, which is Guild Wars. As you can see, Lion's Arch got a new coat of paint. It's a new decor, and I really like it. That's right, folks. It is the Halloween event back in full force, and this has been going on for every year since Guild Wars was released, and it is always a ton of fun. I mean, they completely redid Lion's Arch to show the spirit of Halloween. You got Mad King Thorn, and it's just hilarious to see everything. The bone riders running around, the bone dragon, the moon turning into this evil face, the clouds, the ghost ships. I mean, it's a ton of fun. I mean, this can really get you into the Halloween spirit. There's a whole set of missions for the Mad King and his cohorts that give you, and you get all sorts of prizes like trick-or-treat bags, candy corn, which you can trade in for some other items, or you can keep that, and it actually gives you, I think it was +1 attributes, or increases your armor in PvE. I forgot. There's that, and there's the pumpkin, and one of those two does one of those things, and the other one does the other. So, and I think there may be some more items as well, but it's a ton of fun. So if you've not gone to Lion's Arch yet, check out Lion's Arch. The other areas that are affected, at least as far as I know, is also Drachna's Forge and Kemaden as well. And there may be a few other places that are affected that may be in Nightfall. Again, I've not progressed all the way through Nightfall, so there may be another city I'm not aware of, but those are the main cities that I know that are showing the Halloween spirit, and it's a ton of fun. So if you get a chance, head over to Lion's Arch. I know a lot of people come back to Guild Wars just strictly for the holiday events, and I guess we call them tourists. They show up, they do the Halloween events, and then they take off, and we'll see them next year, I guess, or we'll see them for Christmas, and they'll come back. One thing about Halloween, a lot of people like Halloween. some people, and I think even a lot of people, like Halloween more than Christmas, just for the sheer fact that Halloween doesn't have that gravity that Christmas has. Christmas is a lot of fun. You get candy. There's a special Christmas cheer, but that can also put on a lot of stress. It's one of the reasons why the holiday season is like the time of year where the suicide rate is the highest. You have, cold weather, short days. You have all this pressure that the holidays are supposed to be fun and cheer, and sometimes you're not. You're going through a tough time in life. Work's not going well, or relationship problems, and you're getting this societal push that you should be happy and you're not, and that only increases the stress even further. And it can be rough. It's one of those holidays. It can be rough on a lot of people, even though that's not the intent. Don't take it rough. It's a lot of fun. But with Halloween, that's not the case. It's just dressing up, scaring people, giving candy to kids, making sure their dentists, can afford the next BMW payment, basically. And it's a ton of fun. So that's been what's going on in Guild Wars. Again, this started on Saturday, on the 18th. It was a couple days ago, and it's going to run through, I believe, all the way to the 31st. And I think the 31st is the day that the Mad King shows up, and you do the Simon Says game and things like that, which hopefully I'll capture some footage when it actually does happen. But again, I'm going to be busy during Halloween, so maybe some other people can get some footage, and it'll be pretty neat. Now, if you also want something scary, other than Halloween, it's this mission. In Factions, the Gala Hatchery mission. It's on the Luxon side. Oh, I tried this mission, as you're seeing here, kind of alone. Guildmate and I really tried to get through this mission, and we went kind of the back doorway, which is a longer way, and killed all the Kurzik raiding parties. Basically, and hopefully I'm not giving too many spoilers, the Kurzik kind of assault this convoy, and you're supposed to keep these baby turtles alive and make sure they reach their destination. And you get hit just with wave after wave after wave of these Kurziks. But there's kind of a roundabout way where you can fight the Kurzik waves before the turtle convoy takes off, and there's a way to do that. In this mission here, I'm actually doing the direct way. I'm doing it solo, and here's a spoiler alert. That's probably not a spoiler for anything. The result of this mission was just the simple fact that the Kurziks got a lifetime supply of turtle soup. Frankly, it did not end well at all. And basically, the convoy got hit from a direction I wasn't prepared for, and they just went to town on the baby turtles. And they were not long for the world. They didn't last very long, but it's an interesting mission. And one of those things that's interesting is that you have 3 siege turtles with you, and you have a smoke canister that can lay down kind of a beacon, and wherever that beacon is, the siege turtles will fire at that beacon. Now you can get 3 canisters, but a lot of people, again, they play this mission solo or maybe with one other person, and the rest are heroes. And it's also good to only use 1 canister because all 3 siege turtles will focus fire on that one location, and it's easy to wipe out a large group of Kurziks by using all 3 siege turtles. If you have 3 separate beacons, you have 3 people putting in a different place, you kind of split the firepower among 3 locations. And frankly, sadly, let's just be honest, the population in Guild Wars is at this point, a lot of people are going to be playing this mission either solo or with heroes or with henchmen, and that's going to be difficult to even get a couple of people, unless they're in the guild and they get a lot of people involved that can help them out. So that was my experience with this mission. Again, I did okay in the first couple of waves. I actually kept all the turtles alive. I lost 1 siege turtle when one of the juggernauts got to him, and I wasn't able to save him in time. But it's been interesting. Now, in general, what's been going on? Again, mostly PvE. Did some PvP. Well, I won't call it PvP. I don't know if you call Jade Quarry PvP at all. Basically, it's more like you against the bots, like some sort of Skynet, controlling Jade Quarry or Maximum Overdrive. The classic Stephen King movie where the whole machines take over and you got to fight against them. That's, in a sense, Jade Quarry. How many, Necromancer assassins can you fit into a single match? That's about, frankly, what it is. But there are starting to be more and more actual the meat version of the bots, actually flesh and blood humans showing up in Bakura. I'm seeing more and more. I think one of the reasons is that Aina actually came in and kind of purged out quite a few bot accounts from Guild Wars. They didn't get all of them, that's pretty clear, but they did get a large number of them, which is pretty nice. So I've been doing some of that and just having fun time. And I'm also checking out armors. I'm actually trying to get some amber. I do like the elite Krizik armor for the Necromancer. It looks really, really sweet. But she's got quite a few armors already, and I want to get some nice armors for my monk, maybe for my Mesmer, maybe for my Ellie. So I don't want all the goodies and prizes going to my Necromancer, even though she is my main character. I'd like to show some love, particularly to the monk, and I've been playing a lot with her. And she has been a lot of fun. Now that I got Ray of Judgment, I finally capped that elite skill, and she can pull out more offensive firepower on the field when I play her directly, and that's always pretty neat. So now, as I mentioned before, thinking about doing videos on some other games, kind of Hall Monument games. I've not forgotten about Guild Wars Academy. Again, I'm thinking of doing one video on the basics of positioning, and think about how to do that. Positioning is such a critical factor in a lot of games, and it's also when the action starts, when the combat starts, it tends to be the first thing that goes right out the door. A lot of people get fixated on their target, on what they're doing, and they kind of forget where their position is or what the map situation is. I've seen this in Guild Wars, I've seen this in World of Tanks, I've seen this in EVE Online, I've seen this in Dota 2. It's extremely common. So again, for a lot of games, actually any kind of multiplayer game that's team-based, knowing your position, knowing the position of your team, knowing the position of your formation is extremely important. And it's very easy to get caught out in position or compromise your position. And that's when a lot of games are frankly lost. And I want to kind of show how that is going to relate to Guild Wars. Okay, there's a frontline type of group that is usually warriors, dervishes, maybe an assassin depending on the skill build, and maybe a ranger depending on the skill build. Then there's a midline that could be rangers, paragons, necromancer, mesmers, things like that. And then there's the back line where you really don't want the people up front, such as monks and ritualists, and also any other profession that needs to be weighing back. For example, the battery necro. So like a necro that's doing a lot of blood sacrifice skills like blood is power or blood ritual, where one shot of the skill they lose 1/3 of their health. You don't want them anywhere up front. Or an order necro and things like that. They need to be so far back that they're not going to get hit at all. And positioning is very important for that, because if that monk's too far forward, they can be instant spiked like that from one Ellie that notices that they're too far forward, especially an air Ellie or fire Ellie with a meteorite that can knock them down, or anyone else for that matter. So an order necro or battery necro or things like that can be increasingly vulnerable. It needs to be way in the back of the bus and not up front. So that's something I want to demonstrate with the next Guild Wars Academy video. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update what's going on, what's been going on with the holidays, make sure I get some footage of that. I may post some more from doing the missions. They're pretty neat. Some are easy, some are not, like the one going into the mausoleum to get the king's body, or a body for the king. That is pretty tricky because you got to get through quite a few waves of enemies, and not to mention more than a few dragons in order to get there. And these are not the small dragons you encounter in other Ares games. These are big daddies you need to get through, and they're pretty tough. So anyways, I'm going to kind of leave it from there. Again, I hope you guys enjoy the series, and I'm really looking forward to expanding the channel and looking forward to comments and seeing what you guys like. Again, it's going to expand out a little more than just strictly Guild Wars. Guild Wars is great, but as I mentioned before in a couple episodes back, let's just be honest, the audience is kind of limited, and I want to kind of get a larger group inside the channel, and kind of also do things other than just Guild Wars. There's a lot more out there, and that will also help keep my interest in Guild Wars, because when you play one game all the time, you're going to get burned out. That was the case in EVE Online, it was the case in Dota 2, it was the case in Guild Wars. So having a break, going and trying something else, and coming back is always rewarding. I've heard that a lot from other people. They got a break from Guild Wars, they came back, and now they're enjoying the game all over again. than if they had just stayed the whole time. So anyways, I'm going to leave from there and wish you guys luck, and I'll talk to you soon.